Okay, I'm going to start my experiment today with cleaning ties. You see this tie here has stains all on the back side. Obviously you couldn't see it from the front, but I wouldn't want to sell this with a stain on it. This particular one is part silk and part polyester. And this is a Halston. So I've got my sink and I've got OxiClean liquid in it. This right here, OxiClean. So here's my experiment. I'm going to soak it gently in here. I'm not going to go nuts with it and scrub it all up. I'm just going to soak it, and you leave it in for an hour or so and then come back. So I'm fixing to try and we'll see what happens. So since the whole tie wasn't dirty, just the tips, I've just got them in there, and I just put my hand and just rubbed it over like this. And now I'm just letting it kind of soak, because this was the part that was really kind of grubby. I'm not really sure how they got that dirty on the underside like that, but so we're just going to let this soak a while and we'll see what happens. And I believe it'll clean, and I believe it'll be no problem, but we'll try and see. Now this next tie, you can see, has the same kind of issue. It's really dirty right in here, and right in here it's kind of yellowed, and even the name sticker is really grubby. Very heavy. It's doubly lined, and it also has this kind of a liner in here. But since the only part that's really dirty is this, I might can do the same thing as I did with the Halston and just stick the tips in there. The outside, the front, looks fine. The last tie I'm going to play around with is an Allen St. George American Couture tie. It is 100% silk, but it has all kinds of tears. Looks like there was a tag and somebody tore something off, and it's coming apart here. So I'm going to play with this, and I don't really care. I know I'm not going to sell it because it's in not good condition, but I'm going to test how it washes all the way, the whole thing. If you gently hand wash, gently rinse, hang out, and press. I'm going to see if you can do it and what condition it's in afterwards. So this is my final test, and we'll see the results later. Bye. Okay, well, I've soaked them now in rinse water, and I'm not going to wring this. I've kind of folded it up in a packet, and I'm just going to press the water out of it. Just press it so that it doesn't really wrinkle a lot. And then I'm going to use a plain old hanger. I'm going to hang it, fold them over that like you would see in a store, so they're hanging, and I'm going to hang them up and let them dry. And then we'll see how much pressing they need. Now, as you can see, my tie has dried, and it didn't do bad. This is the one that I folded and just squeezed the water out of it, but it didn't do bad at all. This is the one that's all messed up. So what I'm going to do, I've got my iron set on silk, and I'm going to use a linen kitchen towel as a pressing cloth so that I don't get this directly on this. I have to move this. This one is silk. This particular tie was 100% silk. This is just definitely not. So I am going to try, since I have it on silk, I'm going to put it directly on it and see what happens. Like I say, this is an experiment, so I can try several things and see what happens. It is not taking the wrinkles out when it's dry ironed. Now, whether I can sprinkle it, and it might, so I might try that. I don't want to steam it. I don't know what steam would do to it. Nope, it doesn't like that. I decided to try it with the steam, so I put some water in my steam iron. I left it on silk, and I'm putting it directly on here, and I did mist it a little bit beforehand just to see if that would work. And this particular one really missed well, so I just kind of rubbed my hand over it like that. And I just put, you don't want to just leave it on there, so you have to kind of move it around. But this one spot here has a big wrinkle, so I wanted to see if I could get it out. That's from when I washed it and then folded it to get the water out. And it seems to be doing pretty well. So it is possible to do this. This is a silk, 100% silk tie. And there is, I don't know if you can see it, there's a little bit of a wrinkle here, but you would have to be really close to see it. So it does take the wrinkles out if and you can use steam. It's not hurting this material at all. I have it on silk with steam, and it is ironing it back out to a nice straight thing. The other thing we were looking at was, would that OxiClean clean these ties? This one, which is 15% silk, and the rest is polyester. 85% polyester, 15% silk, clean beautifully. That OxiClean just took the dirt right off of that, so it did beautifully. And just dipping the end and just cleaning the end is hardly any wrinkles or anything, so that one's going to be a no issue. You can definitely clean a spot clean it without a problem. This one, which is some kind of a heavy mixture, I'm not really sure what it is because that part of it is not here, but it's very thick. This is the one that's totally lined. It did not clean well. And you see it's still stained. I mean, you can wear it. It's no big deal. The tag cleaned better than that. So I would say this certain materials don't clean well at all. I don't know what this is, but it's very thick and it's lined. And this lining, whatever this lining is, did not clean well at all. So my experiment, it does work. There's no wrinkle there. They're very nice. And this is easy. This end is very easy just to press and go because there's no, that was the only end that got even washed, so it's not, I mean, it didn't even look wrinkled. So that was a good experiment. It does work. You can wash them by hand. You can iron them. The OxiClean did work very well on silk and polyester, but whatever this lining is, it does not work well on. So there we go. Our experiment did work.